Okay guys, welcome back. In the last video I was looking at the buttons here. I was looking at this one, log in, log out button. Or not just button, but how it works on the index page here. So we're taking care of this one and what happened, you know, like what was going to show and all that stuff. So we're looking at this one and we see we initiated all these things and we did some hiding and showing and stuff like that, and that's what we do also in register right there and load save game. So I'm gonna quickly go over the register and the load save game here. Okay, so we looked at login logout JS and we had that here, JS buttons and login logout, and we also have register right there on the same one and load save game. So we start with register anyway. In the index page we included this one. It was the login form, and in the login form we have the login and we got also the register form here. The register button is just the one I do for toggling to show the register element, like all this. And when I push this one and I've put stuff here, then it's gonna register the user. This is just a toggle. So that one, we find that one in the login element here, you know, the log div. So this button is in there. You see it's not a capital. If you look down here, we got a capital on that register, so it's this button here. Alright, so the register button is just gonna control, it's just gonna flip or toggle this one. Alright, so if we look at register, the JavaScript here, we have the register submit. Which one was that? Well, if we look in login form, register submit, we had an ID right here. So that one is the one that will be taken care of right here. So if that register is pushed, what we do is we initialize these variables here. We check what is in this one, and we also check what do we have in this text area. And we also have enter your password again to check if these match. If they don't, we have to do something else. But if they match and we push register, you're gonna get registered. You see, here we are registered, but we didn't put anything in. So I should have made something that was saying that you have to have something in here, otherwise you can't register. So what we got to do now is we got to go to our database and we have to take this one out here. So I go to my user table, you see here, no name, no nothing. So this one I'm going to take out. So I delete this one. Alright, good. Well, I'm just going to reload this page here. So I toggle this one and I get this. And when I go, well, when I have this and I push register, like I said, it's going to check all this. So if I go here, we push the button, we look at what we got here, what's the username, what's the password, password again, and here we're looking at the passwords. If they do not match, then it's going to say password does not correspond, try again. But if they do match, we're doing all this here. So we're doing an Ajax post method here, and it's going to call this PHP file, and it's going to export the reg user and reg password, or this one is going to import that or post. And we're going to return data. As you saw in the other last video, I walked you through this, so you should know about this now, this Ajax post method. If we look at this PHP, which is called, you have the PHP pages and the registered. So if we look at the catalog here, we see that we have PHP pages there, and we have the registered PHP right there. So it's this one. Okay, what happens when we call this? Well, it checks for the reg username, and it's looking if it's set. It shouldn't be 0. So if it's set, we do all this right here. So username is gonna be whatever we had in the username. Password is gonna be, again, you know, we do something with the password, so it becomes something else. And then we do an SQL query here. So we're doing this query, insert into users, and then we put the username and we put the user password with the values username and password. So this should always be, you just put in what you got in the if you look at the database here, we have username right here, and we got user password right there. So insert into users, so it's gonna add another user here, and we're gonna add the username and the user password. So we just put username, user password, username, user password, and then we're gonna tell what the username is and what the password is right here. So we do a prepare statement here. We have this, that's our query, and we do a prepare on it, on this variable that we created here. And what this tells it is to prepare it, and then we can do the execute afterwards. So we do the execute with this array, and now we have, like I said, the username, this one will be put to this variable, which we were setting right there. And the user password, we got it here, and we set it to this variable right there where we have this. So when I do a registered user, we're just gonna put values into username and user password. And what else? Well, we're gonna put that the session username is this username. So now we know, if we're looking at the session, which is the username, and well, we've set it to this, okay? And now we do an output, and we return it as a JSON, and so we will have that the message is hello, whatever username it got, you're now registered, please log in to use your account. So what is returned here is just that. We check here, you know, we put as well a text and as the message that we sent here. Alright, all this thing here, and we set also logged in true there. So if the login is true, we do this. And if it's true, we hide the register button, we hide the form container, we hide the save and load output, or no, we show the save and load output. So this is what happens when you registered someone. If we look here, we got Cody here, and if I put something else like Trey, and the password 111 111 111 111 registered, it says, you know, the message that we're putting out, hello Trey, you're now registered, please log in to use your account. And this one is showing as well. We shouldn't have showed this actually, but that's what happened. You know how to change it now. If I log in with Trey 111 111, you see this is coming out. We're showing the multiplayer game, and we got this. So now we can just start playing with Trey here. And if we reloading this page, we're gonna have tray right there with a password and nothing else. It sets these variables also. This one, it's an integer, so it's gonna put it to 0. This one is just gonna be well, auto incrementing. So I took away 15, now we got 16. Good. That was all about the register button. Right down here I also added the toggle of the form container of the you see register button right there. If I go in log form, we have the register button right there, you know, with the login and everything. So that is for the toggle. So I log out, I do this. This toggle right there is because I put this thing in JavaScript. So I do two things in this JavaScript. I check for register submit, that's this button, and I also check this button, which is the toggle one. So that's what I do there, okay? Alright, so now we have looked at the register button, and now we want also to look at the load and save game. So to load and save game, I gotta be logged in to make it appear. So we have this one now. I'm logged in as Set12. I make a move, I can do that, and you know, I've already saved previously a board to a 12. So when I push here start saved game, I'm gonna get what is in my database. So if I just check this database here, you see we got a 12 here, and it's not the move string, it's the latest move here that is connected to the first page. Move string is gonna be when you're in a game, in a multiplayer game with an opponent. So latest move is for the first page when you play against a computer. So we're gonna return this, and you know the software from Blue Fever software, it's gonna look at this one and it's gonna make this board appear. So I push the start saved game and we get something else here, and it's what's ever written in here. If it's like we change this and we set it to a position, it's almost like that. If you want to know more about that, I suggest you go to Blue Fever software and check his JavaScript engine, how it works, okay? But start save game, we go here and we do and we check what is in the last game. So I'm gonna go through that now. So if I go to JS buttons, load save game, we have this one, load last move SQL submit, and last save SQL submit, you know, last move. So this is the save and this is the load. And we do this with Ajax post method again, and what we do is we are going to well, I had a weird error when I was doing some stuff, I don't know why, so I just put a string here that is gonna be posted to this PHP, but we don't need this one, so it doesn't matter. So you can you don't need to care about this one. Anyway, so we call this page load last move, you know, that's what we want to do. So we're calling this and we want to return something in the data here. What we wanted to return is the string that we saw here in the latest move. So we return this one and we do a parse fen here, which is we only need that string to put a certain board over here. So Blue Fever software has made it like that. So you just need that string and then you get a board here. And we with this board we also know whose turn it is. Is it white to make a move or is it black? that can make a move. And it also takes care of, have we done a ruck or you know, all these rules we got. It remembers in the string, it remembers everything. So we gotta just pass this string along with this function that is in one of the JavaScripts down here. I'm gonna show you. In the JavaScript, if I go to the root folder here, if I go to JavaScript, we have the buttons, but we also have everything from this Blue Fever software. So this function is somewhere in one of these JavaScript, which I won't go into that. But we put this string in, and we do parse fen, and then that's gonna make the board. So we call this function here load last move SQL PHP. So when we do that, we go to this PHP that is called load L moves SQL. So the Ajax post is doing all this. We connect to the database, and we already set the session to something. The session username was made or set when we logged in. So we put this in a variable again, and then we do a query. So we will ask the database, select everything from users, the table users, where the username is this. And we're only gonna, if it's more than one username, we're just gonna take out the first one. Normally you shouldn't have the same username, and as I said before, you can program this so you can check for which what usernames you got in the database and make it so you can choose a username that already exists. Okay, but anyway, we check for this username only, and if we have this username, we do like I did before. We do an count the rows, and we should only get one if it exists, and it will exist because we're already logged in. So if it doesn't exist, do this, but it's not necessary because it will exist, otherwise we wouldn't be here. So what it does, if row exists, while we have all the rows that we returned, which is only one here, so the row, we take out the variables from this row. I've already talked about this, so check out the last video if you don't remember. But we put this ID here, and it's going to be on the row where we have user ID. So user ID is looking at this, and it also going to have the latest move. It's gonna, here we got this one, the variable that we need, and it's going to return the latest move. Actually, we don't know, we don't need this ID. I used it before, but now we don't need it. So the only thing we need to return here is the latest move. So we got that string, and we put it out as a JSON, and we come back to the load save game JS. What it does is return data in the data message. So data, if data.message is not equal nothing, then we do this. And then afterwards, after this if statement, we're doing the print board, we're doing all this stuff all again. It's in the Blue Fever software JavaScript right here. So I'm not gonna go into it, it's just how it's made. Okay, and then we have the save to SQL. We want to save the last move. So when I push this one, I'm going to save the board. So when I do this, the computer makes something. I do this, the computer makes something. Push save board. Now this board is saved. So if I do something else now, he's going to take that one. I move a little more. now I can push start save game and it will be where it was before. And how do we do this? Well, when I push save board here, I'm gonna call the JavaScript here, lsave SQL submit. I'm gonna go to index because this is where we have the save and load output div. So this is the lsave SQL submit underscore submit. So if I check, if you remember this one, lsave SQL submit, I go into load save game, here we have it. So when we push this, we do lsave SQL, and it takes whatever in the board to fan. Board to fan is again Blue Fever software, so it's right here. So we just call the board to fan, we put it in this variable, and we are gonna post this into this PHP right here. So we're grabbing the string that we got. It's actually this one or whatever we got here on the board. So we grab that one and we go into this PHP. So let's check it out. We go to this PHP there. Move save to SQL. We connect to the database. We check for the username, which is in this session, and we check for the post lsave SQL. If I go back to the load save game, we post lsave SQL, and we got that one here. So we're posting that, we're putting it into this variable, and then we want to update the database where we have this username. So now it's going to update the last saved game that we have. So if we have a saved game in our database, we push the button, we want to save whatever on the board right now. And so we do the update the user table, and we set the latest move. It's what we call this one. We set the latest move to this variable right here, where the username is this username, and it's what the session username is. And we do the prepare and we do the execute. This is what we do when we do the update here. And we will, well, we put this in the message, and we do login true, and we put it in a JSON. We don't need this actually, because what we do when we push the save board, we're only saving it to the database. We're not showing anything. If I push it now, nothing happens. So the only thing we do is saving this to the database. This is just for me doing error things, so I should leave this out actually. And if we go back here, you see what we will do with the returned variable here. Well, nothing actually, so we don't need it. So we didn't even have to use the Ajax post method here, but since I did it here, it was not, you know, it was just like, okay, I copy and paste this here and just change some stuff. Well, there you have it. It's the load and save. So this is more, now you know about the Ajax and how it works, how we communicate with the database. You saw the update SQL, you saw the select, and to return something as well from the database. So that's what you can learn about this. You saw a little bit about buttons and to grab stuff from login form and so on. So I hope this helped a little bit. I see that it's 25 minutes here now in the movie, so I hope it wasn't too long, and if you feel it's too long, you just skip, okay? You can just fast forward and see what I'm doing. Okay, Thank you, and I hope I see you in the next video.